Tofu, often hailed as the go-to protein source for those on plant-based or meat-free diets, has garnered significant attention for its versatility and protein content. Made from soybeans, tofu is a staple in many vegetarian and vegan diets due to its ability to mimic the texture and flavor of meat in a variety of dishes. While tofu offers several advantages as a plant-based protein source, it is not without its potential drawbacks, especially for those seeking a nutritionally balanced diet or long-term health benefits. One major concern with tofu is its reliance on soybeans as the primary ingredient. While soybeans are rich in protein, they also contain a range of compounds known as antinutrients, such as phytates and lectins. These compounds can interfere with the absorption of essential minerals like iron, zinc, and calcium, potentially leading to deficiencies if tofu is consumed excessively or without proper dietary planning. Phytates, for example, can bind to minerals in the digestive tract, reducing their bioavailability and preventing the body from absorbing them efficiently. While moderate consumption of tofu may not pose a significant risk for most individuals, relying heavily on tofu as a primary protein source without addressing these potential nutrient absorption issues could lead to long-term health concerns. Another issue with tofu is its high levels of estrogenic compounds, particularly phytoestrogens, which are plant-based compounds that mimic the action of estrogen in the body. The primary phytoestrogen found in soy products like tofu is genistein, which can bind to estrogen receptors and potentially disrupt hormone balance, especially when consumed in large quantities. While the effects of phytoestrogens on human health are still debated, some studies suggest that excessive consumption of soy products could contribute to hormonal imbalances, particularly in individuals who are sensitive to estrogen or those who have hormone-related conditions such as breast cancer. For individuals with a history of hormone-sensitive health issues, consuming large amounts of tofu or other soy-based products could be a cause for concern and may need to be limited or avoided altogether. Tofu is also a highly processed food, which can be a significant downside for those seeking to minimize the intake of processed or refined foods. While tofu is made from whole soybeans, the process of turning soybeans into tofu involves several steps of mechanical processing and the addition of coagulating agents, such as magnesium chloride or calcium sulfate. These agents, while generally regarded as safe, are still a form of chemical intervention in the food. Additionally, many commercially available tofu products are often packed in plastic containers or vacuum-sealed packaging, which can expose the tofu to chemicals like BPA, bisphenol A, a substance found in many plastics that has been linked to potential health risks. Over time, exposure to these chemicals could contribute to endocrine disruption, reproductive issues, and other health concerns. For individuals who prioritize whole, minimally processed foods, tofu may not align with their dietary preferences or values. In terms of its nutrient profile, while tofu is a decent source of protein, it lacks some of the essential nutrients found in animal-based protein sources. Tofu is generally low in essential amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein needed for muscle repair, immune function, and overall body health. While it does contain some of these amino acids, it is not a complete protein source on its own, meaning that those who rely on tofu as their primary source of protein may need to carefully plan their meals to ensure they are getting all of the necessary amino acids. Unlike animal proteins, which naturally provide all the essential amino acids in a single serving, tofu requires careful pairing with other plant-based foods to achieve a complete protein profile. This can complicate meal planning and make it harder for individuals to maintain a balanced diet over the long term. Furthermore, tofu is not a significant source of certain vitamins and minerals that are essential for overall health, especially those that are typically found in animal products. For example, tofu is very low in vitamin B12, a vital nutrient that plays a key role in energy production, nerve function, and red blood cell formation. B12 is predominantly found in animal-based foods, and those who do not consume any animal products may be at risk for developing a deficiency if they do not supplement or carefully plan their diet. Additionally, tofu contains very little vitamin D, another nutrient that is essential for bone health, immune function, and overall well-being. For those on a meat-free diet, relying solely on tofu without supplementing with other foods rich in B12 or vitamin D could lead to deficiencies, which could manifest as fatigue, bone pain, or weaken immunity. The environmental impact of tofu production is also a factor that cannot be overlooked. While tofu is often viewed as a more sustainable option than meat-based products, the cultivation of soybeans, especially in large quantities, can have significant environmental consequences. Soy farming has been linked to deforestation, particularly in countries like Brazil, where large areas of rainforest are cleared to make way for soy plantations. This not only contributes to biodiversity loss but also increases carbon emissions and disrupts local ecosystems. Additionally, the use of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides in conventional soybean farming can pollute the soil and water, further exacerbating environmental degradation. While tofu may be a more eco-friendly option compared to factory-farmed meat, its environmental footprint is still something that should be considered when choosing plant-based protein sources. The taste and texture of tofu can also be a turnoff for some individuals, particularly those who are accustomed to the flavors and textures of animal-based foods. Tofu has a relatively bland taste on its own, which means it often requires significant seasoning, marinades, or cooking methods to make it palatable. For those who are new to plant-based eating, this lack of flavor may make it difficult to enjoy tofu as a regular part of their diet. Moreover, tofu's texture can vary significantly depending on the type and preparation method, which can lead to inconsistent dining experiences. While some people enjoy its firm texture in stir-fries or grilled dishes, others may find the soft or silken varieties unappealing, especially if they are seeking the satisfying mouthfeel of meat. This can make tofu less versatile for some individuals, limiting its role in a diverse, enjoyable diet. Lastly, it's important to note that not all tofu products are created equal. Many commercially available tofu options are high in sodium, especially those that are pre-seasoned or flavored. Sodium is an essential nutrient in small amounts, but excessive intake can contribute to high blood pressure, kidney strain, and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Those who consume large amounts of tofu without considering its sodium content could be unknowingly increasing their salt intake, which could negatively affect their health over time. In conclusion, while tofu may offer some benefits as a plant-based protein source, it is not without its drawbacks. Its reliance on soybeans, anti-nutrient content, potential hormonal effects, and processing methods make it a less ideal option for some individuals, particularly those who are concerned about long-term health, environmental impact, or nutrient balance. The low levels of certain vitamins and minerals, the risk of chemical exposure, and the difficulty in achieving a complete protein profile highlight the importance of diversifying protein sources and being mindful of the potential downsides of consuming tofu regularly. For those following a meat-free diet, tofu can be enjoyed in moderation, but it should not be relied upon as a sole or primary protein source without careful planning and attention to nutritional needs.